Hey there, folks, so just a quick video to go over some of the latest changes in version 3.0 of the plugin. A big shout out to everyone out there who's been sending out their bug reports and feature requests and really helped shape this plugin. And of course to Jake of the Unreal Engine Marketplace team, who's consistently been updating the plugin for the marketplace. Thanks, Jake. And yep, so I guess we'll get on with it. So we've got I'd like to start with the teleport component. So in the teleport node, teleport now, you should have options for fade out and fade in. So you can now fade in and fade out the camera all in this one node. So if you split the struct here, you can see all of the available options for you. And recombine that and split this. And similarly for the fade in options, you can do the same. Alright, and you can also use the node now to do a forced teleport regardless of the internal checks that I do for the teleport, which is checking for a valid location in the map, or checking if there's actually a valid location to teleport to. So you can now force the teleportation here in cases where you want to. You can also now teleport physics off the pawn, so that you can have more realistic effects if you have something grabbed or not. Alright, so that's just a quick overview of the fade in, fade out, and teleport stuff that's new with the plugin. Also, the boundaries, if I remember correctly. So now we have teleport boundary object types. So the old version or previous versions, I have the teleport boundary type to world static. So I only recognize world static, and then the teleport arc or teleport ray would stop whenever it hits a world static object. But there are cases in your games or experiences, I've had reports on that, of course, you would need something more than world static. So if it's not a floor, if it's a moving pedestal of some sort that you need to teleport to, then you can do world dynamic as well. So you can just specify it here. If you don't have anything specified here, the plugin automatically sets itself to world static only. But here, so now you can have different object types as a boundary for your teleport arc and teleport ray. So yep, so that's for the teleport. Now let's move on to the gaze component. So with the gaze, you now have the option to, let's just quickly click that. All right, so you now have the option to have have your target mesh. So that mesh that spawns when you're looking at the correct target. You can now rotate that mesh to face you. So via this tick box here, rotate to face pawn, and you should now have this. You also have, of course, the original target rotation. So you can modify this in code, the target rotation, and then apply the rotate to face pawn as well. So it's up to you how you wish to do that. And so there was a bug with the previous version of the plugin where you couldn't access the front gaze variables. That is fixed now in version 3.0 of the plugin. Alright, so we also have changes for the grabber component. So similar to the teleport, so I've added an option for you guys so that you can now set the grabbable object types. So previously it was only physics body, so you can now specify a lot of different objects here. I mean object types that the plugin would recognize as grabbable. It won't auto, unless it's a physics body, it won't auto attach it because I'm using in my code the physics component to do a lot of the manipulation and to do a lot of the attachment. So if you do use a different object type, it will recognize it, and then you can use a scan only and then manually attach the returned actor to either your either to your hands or to any other part of the scene that you want to. All right, so that's for the grabber component, and yep, there's also a new really nifty feature because I do have a simple grabber component, which I haven't updated for quite a bit. Yep, so you have this Runberg VR simple grabber component, which is a collision-based grabber component. So this can be used to do a like really fine grabbing. So because you have a collision mesh that you can attach the components to. So I've kind of integrated that kind of concept into the main grabber component here. Let me just remove this one. For ease of use, by simply doing a radial trace. If you do this tick box here, do radial trace, and then it will use the reach as a radius. And yeah, so once it does that, that means it will create automatically for you a sphere collision when you do a grab, and then if you click show debug, it will show you the sphere debug instead of a line trace, and it will grab anything that fits the grabbable object types here, and then return that actor for you. So instead of doing a ray trace, a single ray trace, you now have a radial trace. I've updated the demo project to use the radial trace instead of the grab trace for grabbing a sword for the right hand. So you can test that out. And for long range, I'm using a radial trace. The standard line trace, or the default line trace. So you can have a play with that. So all of these changes are already applied into the GitHub repo in the demo project. All right. So yeah, and that's for the recent changes on the plugin. So there were a lot of bug fixes as well, and especially with the teleport component where you seem to be teleporting into the correct location. So I've done location offset adjustments for that depending on where your headset is, which was the cause of the issue. All right, so another key thing that I've introduced into the plugin is I've now added content. So let me just, if you click on view options here and you do show plugin content, you should have a folder called Runberg VR plugin content, and you will have some starter content here which you can use to follow along with the video tutorials I've got set up here in YouTube. So and that would help you out. And you've got a beam there and a hand for the teleport and a hand for to indicate the motion controllers. So, and yeah, just some white boxing materials there that I've just thrown in for you. So yeah, so just to help you follow along the video tutorials. I'll add more sample content and code into the plugin. So for those people who don't want to use the demo project up in GitHub because it's quite large, I'll put up some more sample code here. So once you install it from the marketplace, you can just pick and choose the code that you want or the different type of pawns. So like motion controller, teleport, and all that stuff. So yeah, I might do considering doing a Twitch channel for this. So maybe I'll set up a Twitch stream and then create the code live streaming. All right. So yeah. So overall, that's all the new changes. That's up in GitHub now. And let me see if I forgot something I want to say. Yep, I guess that's pretty much it. So we've got, oh yeah, sorry. One more thing that I've added is now you have so I'm supporting 4.16 and 4.17. I'm going to try to support at least 3 versions of the plugin moving forward. So you can go to a demo project which is 4.16 compatible, or I've also set up now in my GitHub repo. Let me just go back to the. All right, so this is the repository that you guys are familiar with. This is the one with the demo project and the plugin, and here you can find the link as well for plugin only repo. So if you're interested with just the plugin, you can grab the plugin here, the source code and everything else. Without the demo project. So this helps people, for those who want to configure a sub module in their Git repository for their VR projects. So you can just directly link to this repository, and then any new changes to the plugin will get automatically included into your projects. Yep, so I'll set up I guess I'll set up a Git um, a Git tutorial on how to use this new repository as well. All right, so and what's coming up next for the plugin? After I guess the upcoming Mega Jam, I'll probably do Epic Mega Jam. I'll be gonna hunker down and go through the networking the plugin, so adding more convenience functions and exposing a lot of the variables via networking. So yeah, and I'm also doing the VR Hands component, special VR Hands plugin, where you can have various animation for the VR hands. Yep, with forearms. So that should be up as a separate plugin out in the marketplace. All right, so thanks guys for your time, and keep the bug reports and feature requests coming.